Suni-ai Saraa Gunaa ke Gaah. The word Saraa is sarovar, ocean. Guna, virtues, plural, guna. Ke Gaah. Gaah means grah, a resident, somebody who lives in the ocean of virtues. Suni-ai Saraa Gunaa, an ocean of virtues, a lake, a sarovar, a pool of virtues. They are Gaah, they are residents. They reside in an ocean of virtue. By listening, you reside in an ocean of virtue. Saraa Gunaa ke Gaah. What are these guna? What are these qualities? What are the qualities that are most valued? The best qualities of mankind: compassion, humility, honesty, moral integrity. Yeah, being reliable, that anyone says, no matter what, you can rely on this person. This person speaks the truth. This person is not selfish. They're honorable. These virtues, Guruji says, you're an endless pool of virtues when you are somebody who is constantly aware. So how does this happen? Why should meditation give you all of these positive qualities? To understand this, we have to understand the opposite qualities, the worst qualities. Gurbani has categorized these as the five thieves: Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Hankar. Yeah? Lust, greed, anger, desire, attachment, ego, pride, all these sort of things. So let's think about these. We have all of these, right? They're like ingrained within us. They seem impossible to shake off. Yeah? No matter how much you try, like for some reason these things are like deep down still stuck within you. And because we've lived with them our whole life, they're so deeply ingrained with us. These have become deep-rooted habits. And a habit, over time, slowly, habits become addictions. So what do we mean by that? We're introducing a lot of new terminology here. Is there a difference between a habit and an addiction? What's a habit? A habit is something that you do without thinking. Let me explain. Let's say you're walking to the kitchen every day, and the first time you get a choice. What am I going to make? I'm going to make a cup of tea, or I'm going to make a cup of coffee. And the first time you make a choice, you have to think about it, you weigh the pros and cons. You say, actually, I don't need to have so much caffeine, or coffee is not good for me, or whatever. You decide to go for tea. The next day, that decision is slightly easier. You still spend some time, you think about it. You make another decision. I had tea yesterday, do I need to make tea again today? Coffee. Every day, the decision to make tea becomes easier. One day, the part of your brain that requires you to make that decision no longer is activated. That's become a habit. The decision-making process has been happening again and again, and you make the same decision every time. Eventually, as soon as you wake up in the morning, the habit of tea fires off in your brain. Even if you don't need a cup of tea, you go make yourself a cup of tea. That is where habits become so ingrained within you. To the point where if, for example, one day you've run out of tea, it affects you. That's when it becomes an addiction. Whether your body needs the cup of tea or not is now irrelevant. You've been habitually doing it again and again and again. The habit is so deep-rooted within you that you can't function without that habit. Even if you want to give up tea, say caffeine's not good for me, I'm not going to drink tea anymore, you can't. You keep going back to that. So a habit is something which doesn't require decisions, and addiction is something you can't say no to. Even if you want to say no, you can't say no. That is the distinction. That's how you identify something as an addiction. When you can't actually say no to it anymore. As much as you try, you're addicted to it. That's an addiction. Both of them are actually feel-good factors. Both of them, for whatever reason, allow you to feel a little bit better. Maybe because you've been doing something your whole life, you just do it every day because it just feels a little bit better for doing it. They make us feel important, they make us feel right. Now let's go to your panch chor, Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Hankar. They make you feel good. Otherwise we wouldn't do it. If we felt bad after doing these things, we wouldn't do it to ourselves. Our body would be saying, our mind would be saying, stop doing this, it's not good for you. If we felt like we were hurting ourselves. But because we don't feel like that, because we actually feel slightly good about ourselves, that's why we keep doing it. They make us feel important. Now just think about whenever you've had an argument with someone, whenever you've really got angry at someone. Ultimately, what you're getting angry about is the other person is wrong and you need to show them that they're wrong. And you focus all of your focus on the fact that they're wrong, but ultimately what you're not focusing on is the fact that you feel right. The louder you scream, the more right you feel. They make you feel right. They make you feel important. And who doesn't want something that makes you feel important? We get value from these things. That's why they're so deep-rooted within us. That's why we hold on to them. They give us comfort. And everyone's looking for comfort. Everyone's looking to feel valued. If society doesn't value, if our family doesn't value us, if our friends don't value us, we can create value within ourselves by doing these things. Creating a victim mentality within ourselves, we feel important. So we look for value in our life, we look for comfort. Friends, family, material positions gives us a lot of comfort. This is why they're habits. Guruji wants us to create new habits. Guruji wants us to have Naam as our habit. Wake up in the morning, Naam. Uthat, baitat, sovat, jagat. Yeah? When you're awake, when you're asleep, when you're standing, when you're walking, yeah, when you're sitting. Guruji wants to create a new habit within you. Naam, the bigger picture, the awareness, the Suni-ai. Yeah? Anytime you get your panch chor, that should be a trigger, an alarm that says, the only reason I'm having these panch chor is because I'm not having Naam right now. Yeah? We should now turn those panch chor into alarm bells. Every time they happen, it's a reminder. Okay, you're not doing Naam. You're not in Naam. If you were in Naam, you wouldn't have these things. And let's look at Nanak, bhagtaa, sadaa, vigaas. The saints, the Brahmgyanis, they're constantly in this state. They're constantly in Naam. And because they're constantly in Naam, they feel always happy, always comforted, always joyful. We're looking for joy and comfort from these panch chor. The Bhagats have conquered them. Yeah? They found joy and comfort in Naam. So we need to realize that there's a new way to be comforted, a different way to be comforted. Except this comfort doesn't make you feel important. This loses your importance. That's why it's a little bit hard to do. That's why we still hold on to the old ways. Because the old ways make us feel important. This one is telling you not to be important. Or in a way, this is giving you the ultimate importance. Rather than being an individual, it says, I'll just give you the whole universe. Rather than just being one person, I will make you divine. I will make you God. Yeah? So this is a new type of experience that we need to bring within ourselves. So let's go back to what we were talking about. Saraa Gunaa ke Gaah. These good qualities. When you're in this state of awareness, of Naam, it's not at that point that these good qualities come to you. That's not what it's saying. Yeah? It's not that these things come to you. When you're in that state, those things which are innate within you resurface. Yeah? That's where you reside now. You reside in that sarovar of virtues. Within you is a sarovar of virtues. Yeah? Love, compassion, tranquility, you're born with these things. Babies aren't hateful. They're loving. Even to complete strangers. Because they can't see a stranger from a friend. Only as the child grows do the panch chor start coming in. The ego, the me, the mine. I'm better. I want to succeed. I want this rather than that person having it. So these panch chor, they are something that develop over time. But the guna that's within you, that's what the atma comes with. Yeah? It comes with love. Why? Because it speaks the language of love. Pakhya pao apar. That's what it is. That's what this Atma is. It is radiance, it is light, it is compassion, it is love. So the good qualities is not something that happens to you. It's just that you reside in the good qualities, and the negative qualities are something that you've now broken your attachment to. You've broken those habits. This is why Guruji says, Gaviye, Suni-ai, man rakhiye pao, dookh par har, sukh kar le jaye. Kar is an important word there. These things come back home. They're home. They belong there. Happiness belongs there with you. You are not born to suffer. You're actually born with sukh. Suffering is something that happens to you. Sukh is, you are a home of sukh, of peace, of happiness. Sukh kar le jaye. Bring that back home. Yeah? It belongs there. That's where this guna belongs. And what are Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Hankar? Are they residents of your home? No, they are chor. They're thieves of your home. A chor is never, you don't live with a chor. A chor isn't somebody, nobody steals from their own house. Right? Chor is always going somewhere else. So if they're a chor, if they're a thief, it means that they don't belong in your house. They're stealing from your house. That's why they're called panch chor. Guru Amar Das Ji says, Is dehi andar panch chor vasai. Within this body, 5 thieves live. Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Hankara. What are they stealing? Amrit loote. They're stealing the amrit within you. Manamukh nahi pujai. But the mind-facing people, they don't understand this. Koi na sune pukara. You're crying out, hi, look at my life. Nobody's listening to my struggles. Is dehi andar panch chor vasai. 5 thieves are in your house. Amrit loote. They're stealing the Amrit that's already in your house. Andha jagat, andvartara. The world is blind, and all that they trade and deal with is blindness. The blind is what they deal in. Baj Guru Gubara. Without Guru, there is darkness. The Guru shows you that you have Amrit within you. That's why wake up in the morning, bathe in the Amrit. Amrit Sar Nave. That Sar, Saraa Gunaa ke Gaah, is a sarovar of Amrit. That Amrit sarovar is within you. Bathe within your Amrit in the morning. We've talked about this before. This is something I do with my children. You know the game Snakes and Ladders? Somebody had bought us this Snakes and Ladders game from Amritsar or something like that, and it was called like a Sikhi Snakes and Ladders. And what it has, it's such a beautiful example. All the ladders have a name of something good, like Seva, Simran, and all the snakes have a name in them, and they're like Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Hankar. Every time you get bitten by one of these snakes, you go down. Every time you do a bit of Seva and Simran, you go up. And we play this game at home, and every time it happens in the house, we tell the children, you're not being angry, the angry snake is biting you right now. Because that means that they realize that this anger isn't mine, something is strangling me, is biting me. We say, let the angry snake go. Let the angry snake go. That's not you. You're not angry. The angry snake is biting you. Yeah? The greedy snake is biting you right now. It's so simple for children to identify with these things, and they just say, I'm feeling angry. And then over time, if that starts becoming the language within your family, then hopefully they'll turn around and tell you one day when you're getting angry, Dad, the angry snake's biting you. So, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah? But you have to realize that this is not me. I'm not feeling angry. What do we say? I'm feeling angry. You have to change the terminology. Anger is getting me right now. Now it's attacking me. And if you could create a system within your family where the whole family is protecting one another from these thieves. The purpose of the family is that when they see, look, angry snake is getting mum. Let's all help mum because the angry snake is biting mum. Not that we start shouting at them and we start creating this. Like we have to see it like teamwork. The angry snake is getting dad. Let's help. Let's get them. So we don't provoke that anger. We step back at that point. We say, okay, angry snake is getting you. I don't want to provoke that snake. I want to let that snake go. So that's the kind of terminology that the Guru is using. Yeah. But this isn't easy. These Panch Chor, Guruji also calls them great warriors. These are great warriors. And Guruji says, who is that warrior that has defeated these 5 warriors? Let me meet that kind of warrior. Jin mil mare panch surbir, aso kaun balire. Who is that warrior that has defeated the 5 warriors? Yeah. So these are not like your small-time pickpockets. These are professional thieves. Yeah, well armed, well prepared. Yeah, the gangsters. You know? They're not going to go without a fight. But what is the tool that the Guru gives you? You don't have to fight your Panch Chor. You just give them Naam and automatically they drop. Because Naam is a weapon that they just don't have. Naam is a weapon they just can't compete with. They might have guns. Naam is like a nuclear bomb. You know, what can a gun do against a nuclear bomb? It just obliterates them. Yeah? Suni-ai dookh paap ka naas. Naas means to obliterate, to destroy. Absolute finished. Yeah? It doesn't just move them along. Okay, come back tomorrow. Dookh paap ka naas. This is the ocean that we live in of good qualities. Saraa Gunaa ke Gaah. And when you have done this sort of deep search within yourself, when you found this ocean, when you swim in this, then you are Shaykh, Peer, Paatisaah. You are the equivalent of... Shaykh is like within the Arabic tradition, is like a chief, somebody who's very high position, yeah? Peer, he's a scholar or a well-respected within the Arabic tradition, Persian tradition. And Paatisaah, king, a king of kings. These are all plural here now. Yeah? You are equivalent to all the sheikhs, all the peers, and all the paatisaahs, not singular. Listening, one gets to the status of religious scholars, spiritual teachers, and kings. Suni-ai anDhay paavahi raahu. Andhay means the blind. Paavahi raahu. Raahu means path. They find the path. They get back on track. Suni-ai anDhay paavahi raahu. The blind get back on track. So the blind are the ignorant. This is what we're talking about, the ignorant ones. Suni-ai anDhay paavahi raahu. This is similar to Suni-ai mukh salahan mand. We talked about mand, people who are considered unworthy, low, bad people. Yeah, even they start reciting mukh salahan mand. Those people, once they've listened to the Guru, once they found this thing, even they change their direction. They start doing Naam Simran. And so this is also talking about the same sort of thing. The ignorant get back on track. They find the Ra. Ra is singular. There's only one path here. Notice, there's only one path. It's not saying they become Sikhs. It just says they find the path, the true path. Dharam is about such. There is only one dharam, there is only one such. There's only one way to obtain this. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is only interested in the truth, the only one way. Yeah? The way that applies to every human being, regardless of what religion they belong to. Because they have this ocean of Amrit within them. That belongs to everyone. Yeah? So if it belongs to everyone, then everyone has the opportunity to get back on track to find that ocean. Suni-ai anDhay paavahi raahu. Suni-ai haath, hovai, asgaahu. Notice here, some people, there's two schools of thought about how you pronounce these words. Ra, with the Ankar, some people will tell you you must pronounce that. Most people will pronounce it, anDhay paavahi raahu, haath, hovai, asgaahu. Yeah? But, according to the rules of grammar, and certainly one school of thought, it says that you don't pronounce the last vowel. Yeah? So far, we've seen so many words with an Ankar underneath it, we haven't pronounced it. Just because it has a haha underneath it, doesn't mean that we stop pronouncing it. Yeah? So some people will tell you, you should pronounce it. They will say, raahu, haath, hovai, asgaahu. Some people say that the Ankar is to identify the singular, masculine grammatical rules, and they will say, Suni-ai anDhay paavahi raahu, Suni-ai haath, hovai, asgaahu. Yeah, two schools of thought. So, haath, hovai, asgaahu. Here the word haath does not mean hand. Hand is a masculine word. Hand has to have an Ankar. This is a feminine word. And it means to obtain or to understand. Suniye haath hovai, you understand asgaahu. Asgaahu means a deep concept. This is how Nanak is summarizing the 4 Suni-ai chapters, that by listening you will obtain an understanding of a very deep concept. The ultimate deep concept. What is the ultimate deep concept? Ek Onkar. Haath, hovai. It doesn't mean you will obtain it with your hand. Yeah? It means you will understand. You will understand something that is known as asgaahu. Yeah? Something which is a very deep ocean, a very deep concept. Listening, you obtain a deep understanding of something that is almost unreachable, asgaahu. Yeah? Something so deep that you can't even get to the bottom of it. Nanak bhagtaa sadaa vigaas. Nanak says the saints are forever happy, joyful. Suni-ai dookh paap ka naas.